Hello friends, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and today we're going to compare two budget smartphones, the Samsung Galaxy J2 with the Yuphoria. Although these two devices are in this different price category and they're not really having the same specs, a lot of our readers have been asking us to do this comparison. So we are presenting this comparison for the benefit of our readers to decide on which device to buy. So both these devices are in the budget category. The Samsung Galaxy J2 is priced 8.5k, while the Yuphoria is priced just 7k. So before we go into the detailed aspects, let's have a quick look at the specs. The J2 features a QHD display that's 960 by 540 pixels, and it's powered by an Exynos quad-core chipset with 1GB RAM. There is 8GB internal storage, a 5MP rear camera, front-facing 2MP camera, and a 2000 mAh battery. So that's the Samsung Galaxy J2. Now talking about the Yuphoria, this comes with a 5-inch HD display, that's a 1280 by 720p display, and it has Android 5.1 Lollipop, and this comes with a Snapdragon 410 quad-core chipset with 2GB RAM. There is 16GB internal storage. There is an 8MP rear camera, LED flash, and a front-facing 5MP camera. So that is the spec aspect of these two devices. Now let's go into the detailed aspect of these comparisons. So first up, design and build quality. So design wise, the J2 is very similar to any other Samsung phone. You can see the curved edges, you can see the chrome finish all around the device, the physical button, the two capacitive touch buttons, and the rear panel has a matte finish. But unlike other devices in the mid-range category, the rear panel on the J2 is pretty good. It has a matte finish. It feels much better than a lot of other Samsung devices, but this the chrome finish on the sides of the device doesn't give a really good feel to the device. But overall, it's a pretty slim device in the budget category, and it's pretty compact to hold as well. So that's the Samsung Galaxy J2. Now talking about the Yuphoria, this is made of metal, and you can see this is the metal frame, although the rear panel is made of plastic. The plastic finishing is pretty good. The design language is pretty different. You can see the circular camera arrangement, which the company calls the Saturn ring, with LED flash, and then you have the curved edges, which gives a good feel. It's made of metal, and you can see there's plastic cladding on the 3.5mm jack, as well as the micro USB charging slot. You can see the logo is on the front panel. Overall, it does look pretty good. It also has this navigation buttons, they're on-screen navigation buttons. It runs Android 5.0 Lollipop, and overall design language looks pretty good. Now design wise, we would say the Yuphoria is slightly better because it has a slightly different design, while build quality, we would say both these devices are pretty good. Overall matte finishing on the rear panel looks pretty good. Overall, in the design and build quality, we would say the Yuphoria has a slight edge over the Samsung Galaxy J2. Now moving on to the display, both these devices have different display resolution. The Samsung Galaxy J2 has a QHD display that's 960 by 540 pixels, but it is a Super AMOLED display. That's one good thing about this device. Even though the resolution is pretty low, the display quality is pretty good. It's pretty vibrant and colorful. The viewing angles are pretty good. Although the display resolution is not really that great, it has a smaller display, so again the pixel density is pretty good. Now talking about the Yuphoria, this has an IPS LCD panel, and this has a HD display. So the display resolution is much better, and it's pretty sharper as well. But overall, we would say it's not really that colorful when compared to the Samsung Galaxy J2. It's because it's an IPS LCD panel. It's not really that great in terms of the color quality as that of the J2. But overall, we would say the display is better on the Yuphoria because it is a HD display, and the touch response is also slightly smoother on the Yuphoria. Now talking about the software and performance, here again both these devices are pretty different. The Samsung Galaxy J2 runs Android 5.1.1 Lollipop, that's the latest version, and it has this custom UI. This is the TouchWiz UI with a custom notification center. Then you have this custom UI. A lot of features are also included. It does have some basic options like tools, smart manager, Galaxy apps like S Planner, Calculator, and a lot of other apps are also included. So it's a pretty decent UI. It's a performing UI. Although it's just 1GB RAM, it does perform pretty well. No major lags or issues, but then heavy multitasking is not really recommended on this device because it's not really in terms of the performance, heavy performance, we would say. and the gaming experience is pretty decent on this device, although not the best because it's a smaller display and it's just a QHD panel. The gaming performance was pretty average, although we could play most of the games. It was not really that good, but overall performance with this the Exynos quad-core chipset was pretty good, and not really a big problem if you're using this device on a day-to-day manner, and you won't see much of an issue. But if you're into heavy usage, then probably the 1 GB RAM might be insufficient when switching multiple apps or running multiple apps in the background. Now talking about the Yuphoria, this again runs Android Lollipop, and this has the Cyanogen OS, so it's a heavily customized OS. You have lots of options to choose from. You can virtually customize every bit of this OS with the Cyanogen OS, and the performance is pretty good. It's a snappy processor, Snapdragon 410 quad-core chipset with 2 GB RAM, and there's 16 GB internal storage. That's another useful aspect. The J2 comes with only 8 GB internal storage, and although both these devices are expandable, you cannot install apps directly onto the SD card on the J2. But here we have 16 GB internal storage, so app installation will not be much of an issue on the Yuphoria. Now performance wise, the gaming experience is also pretty good on the Yuphoria. With a 5-inch HD display, the performance is pretty good. The games are pretty much playable, no major issues or lags. The overall quality of the software is also pretty good on the Yuphoria. So that is the gaming and the overall performance and the software side of both these devices. So software side, it's a personal choice on whether you want a Cyanogen OS or the custom UI from Samsung. But performance wise, we would say the Yuphoria has an edge because it has 2 GB RAM as well as 16 GB internal storage, and overall performance looks much better than the Samsung Galaxy J2. Now moving on to the camera. So both these devices have different camera resolutions. One is a 5 megapixel shooter with LED flash, the other one is a 8 megapixel front rear camera with LED flash, and you also have a 5 megapixel camera on the Yuphoria, while it's just a 2 megapixel camera on the Samsung Galaxy J2. Now interface wise, both these devices do offer decent amount of features. The Yuphoria has a Cyanogen OS, and it has this custom Cyanogen interface, and this has this custom Samsung interface. It has manual controls. So feature wise, both these devices do offer almost all features you would require in a smartphone camera. Now coming to the camera quality, this is where the Samsung Galaxy J2 disappoints because it's just a 5 megapixel shooter. The 5 megapixel shooter on the J2 doesn't really work that great when compared to the Yuphoria, and the photo quality was not that great. The colors look washed out on the J2 and doesn't really have the great color quality and also the sharpness because it's just a 5 megapixel camera. Also, it does not have full HD video recording. It's just a 720p recording. That's again disappointing, and the video quality was not that great. Even the front facing 2 megapixel camera was not really that good. Now talking about the Yuphoria, this has an 8 megapixel camera, which is pretty good in this price point. It does perform pretty well, and the overall clarity of the photos looks pretty much better than the J2. It also has full HD recording, again a pretty decent full HD recording. Now in the front facing camera, this has a 5 megapixel front facing camera, and it can record better selfies than the Samsung Galaxy J2. So in the camera aspect, we would say the clear winner is the Yuphoria with a 8 megapixel rear camera and a 5 megapixel front camera. Now finally, the battery life. The Samsung Galaxy J2 comes with 2000 mAh battery, while the Yuphoria has a 2230 mAh battery. Now the battery performance on both these devices are pretty good. With these batteries, you can definitely get 1 day of usage on average usage. That's what we could get. Getting more than a day, it's not really that feasible, but still then if you're an average user, you can easily get 1 day of usage on both these devices, and the battery performance on both these devices are pretty decent for a budget smartphone. So now we have compared almost all aspects. So which is a better value for money device? So the Samsung Galaxy J2 is priced 8,499, while the Yuphoria is priced just 6,999. So price wise, the obvious choice is the Yuphoria, but the Yuphoria has one major issue, that is the after sales warranty. So while the company does have a service in India, it's limited to one service sender, and you have to send the device, which is really a hectic task. A lot of users have been complaining about the service of the Yuphoria and the devices in general. So this is where the Samsung Galaxy J2 wins here, because it has really good service network and does not have much issues servicing the device. So if you're bothered about the after sales warranty, we would say you shouldn't be going to Yuphoria because it's really not that great, and if you're looking for the better servicing, then Samsung Galaxy J2 is a better choice. But otherwise, if you're not really worried about the after sales service, then we would definitely suggest you to pick the Yuphoria. So that's a detailed comparison of the Samsung Galaxy J2 with the Yuphoria. Hope you like this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.